here with the Hall of Famer, the man, the Dundada of boxing media right now. He's got his feature article up on ESPN about the fight. We're gonna deep dive into Beterbiev Bivol and coming off the 2023 Broadcaster of the Year. Just thought I'd get all that in for you, Tim. But
Appreciate that, man. Thanks for the intro. Appreciate that, man.
no doubt about it. All facts. But let's get to let's talk Turkey, man. Let's talk about this big fight. One of the best fights of the year, Beterbiev and Bivol. I read your prediction piece. You touched on all the technical aspects. Ultimately, well, I'll let people read it. I won't let them know who you picked at the end. Maybe they'll find out in this interview. But what are you thinking about 72 hours out before we're going to get our first undisputed light heavyweight champ at 175 in the four belt era?
Um, you know, look, bro, I've been going back and forth, as you know, been going back and forth with my prediction. I've been going Beterbiev, then for 1 week, and then I'll go Bivol, and then Beterbiev again, then Bivol, and I've been going back and forth, and it's like, I want to be on the fence, but my job entails me to give my expert opinion on who I believe is going to win this fight. So let me cut the bullshit, man. I this and the reason why this fight's so hard to pick is because they're each other's kryptonite. And what I mean by that is the way you beat Beterbiev is you got to control the center of the ring. He can be outboxed, he can be out countered, right? That's the way you beat a guy like that. If you can keep him off balance, if you keep the distance right, you're making them, you force them to run into shots, you force them to get comfortable. And another thing, to get uncomfortable by rushing in and lunging. But there's one more thing. If you can force him to actually box, that's another thing that I think that Bivol is capable of doing. Now, on the flip side of that, and what I mean by that, let me go back and let me tell you what I mean by that. There's some times where you see Bivol Beterbiev will get caught with a couple of punches, and he'll set back and he'll regroup, and he'll kind of change his game up. You see him boxing, you start seeing him being a little bit more methodical with his movements, right? That's a good thing, Bivol, to me, is a better boxer. I think although Beterbiev, yes, he does have a high boxing IQ, and, speed, of course, what beats speed is timing. And Beterbiev does have really good timing. However, the distance, I think, is going to be the problem with him. Because if Bivol's not there, man, he's there 1 second, he's out of range. He's there 1 second, he's out of range. It's going to be really hard to land that kill shot. It really is. Or that big looping right hand that he most times, 9 times out of 10, he lands on his opposition. He sets him up for it, and he lands it. Now, on the flip side of that, Bivol, he likes his space. Yeah, he can fight somewhat in the inside, but that's not his specialty. His specialty is not the inside. His specialty is outside and making guys fall into his traps. That's his specialty, out at distance and out at range. Mid-range is where Beterbiev, this is where he flourishes. Once he gets in mid-range and inside, he lets those combinations fly. And what's so dangerous about his combinations is that it almost looks like he's touching you, just touching you with shots. He's accurate and he doesn't telegraph his punches. So they're fast. They don't look like fast like a Roy Jones, but they're so precise and so accurate and they're so well placed. That's when he becomes dangerous. Landing heavy shot after heavy shot after heavy shot. He wears down his opposition, and he befuddles anybody that faces him in this range. It doesn't matter who they are, and that's where things get dangerous because Bivol can't box all night. You're not going to be able to run and move from Beterbiev all night. He's going to be on you constantly, on you, consistently on you. However, I think what Bivol will probably end up having to do is he's going to have to tie him up. The tie up is part of boxing. And if you tie the man up, you don't allow him to work, you stop his forward momentum. So Bivol knows how to do that. And another thing that Bivol knows how to do is he actually knows how to smother too. The way they teach you in the Soviet Union A lot of times is when you smother with the high guard, and you go high guard to high guard because Beterbiev, that's what he uses. He uses a high guard as well. But then you push off and you be able to get your space. But you lean in, you kind of close the distance on him, and you put high guard to high guard, and you kind of push off, and then you bag out and get your space. But it gives you a second to be able to take a breather, relax, and stop the forward momentum of your opposition from coming forward. And I see Bivol trying to use this tactic. Now, I hear many of you saying, yes, Beterbiev, he knows this style very, very well. Yeah, I get it. I get all of that. However, I just think that Bivol, um, I think his ring IQ, I think his straighter punches, to the target. I think that it's going to, in the distance control, his distance control, man. I think that's going to be a difference maker in this fight. Now, I talked about in the article, let me just elaborate a little bit. I talked about the ropes being a concern for me for Bivol. Yes, Bivol sometimes languishes along the ropes. He did it against Canelo. He was easily bagged up against Canelo against the ropes. I remember it was like the end of the round, the first round. He was along those ropes. Canelo was able to land some vicious combinations on him. However, he can't do that and afford that and stay on those ropes too long against a lethal puncher like Beterbiev, man. And that's a concern that I have for Bivol. But ultimately, man, this fight, dude, these guys. I mean, man, they each other's kryptonite, man, and it's going to be about execution. It's going to be about who can take whose shot. Everybody's saying that Bivol can't punch. Stop it. You need to stop it. When you have timing, when you have accuracy like he does, when you're a sharpshooter like him, he can put you on your behind. Even Beterbiev, he can put him on his behind because Beterbiev comes forward and his forward momentum as he's trying to close that gap. If he lunges forward and he gets countered on the way in by some shots, some hard shots thrown by Bivol, he can get hurt. So it's not a one-way streak. I said early on that this fight wasn't going to go the distance. I think that each of these guys, they can hurt one another, man. The stakes that's on this line, man, and being the ultimate.
Well, as you're talking, like several thoughts are coming to my mind as you're breaking down the fight. One of them is that this all like as I'm hearing you talk about it, this kind of sounds similar to a Tank and Shakur discussion with Beterbiev being Tank, Bivol being Shakur. Like the puncher also has very good skill against what we perceive as a better boxer, but the puncher can box too. And if Bivol's to win this fight, it kind of reminds me of Danny Garcia, Lucas Matisse, where everyone's talking about the power of Matisse, but they're kind of overlooking the physical strength and the power of Bivol, Garcia. And then I just want to throw this at you and kind of have you get your thoughts on this spiel I'm throwing your way. Bivol has one knockout in his last 10 fights. And you touched on this about Bivol can knock out Beterbiev, can drop him. But he does only have one KO in his last 10, and that was against Malik Zanad. That's once he stepped up to the championship level. And Beterbiev's been down twice, but Bivol hasn't. So I know that's not really a question, but how do you wrap up some of that information?
So a lot of people, I'm asking your question first. A lot of people feel that like there's a weakness to the fact that Beterbiev has gone down. I don't feel that's a weakness. I actually feel that's an actual strength. Because it's harder to really go through things, man. You being in that ring and being a fighter and getting knocked on your behind, bro, and having to get up and actually finish the fight, man. Look, I'll use Devin as an example. When he got knocked down, a lot of things changed when he fought Garcia. Mentally wise, he fought the wrong game plan. Shortly right after that, when he got hurt, I should say, when he got hurt with a big shot and almost went down, right? You got to be able to compartmentalize, man, and still stay focused and still be able to freaking, pull off a victory, man, whether you're hurt or not. I mean, I can use myself as an example. When I fought against was not Rondell Mason. It was
Kendall Holt?
Kendall Holt when I got knocked on my ass, man. Yeah, when I fought against Kendall Holt. got knocked on my ass. The game plan was to put pressure on him. Well, I got knocked on my ass putting pressure on him, but I didn't stop pressuring him all night. You know what I mean? You got to have the mental toughness, the mental fortitude to be able to continue the game plan no matter what happens. You know, so Beterbiev he has that. You know what I mean? I think that that's where he actually excels. You know, over Bivol is his toughness, man, his grit, his determination. Like you can hit this motherfucker with a he can get hit by a train, and you know, hey, one leg, no legs, he's still gonna be kicking. He's still gonna be fighting. You know, like that right there, that scares me in this fight for Bivol. It really does because you know, Beterbiev could go down, but dude, when he gets back up, he fights even with more, you know, veracity and more aggression. You know, and if he knows that he's down in the fight, he's going to put more and more pressure on Bivol. Now, I've seen Bivol in the past. Late in fights, he has really still has really good technique, which will help him, you know, and he has shown that he has the mental stamina, man, to be able to endure and sustain a high level of boxing all the way through. He was able to do that against Canelo Alvarez. Surprisingly, he did. So, yes, he does have some mental strength as well, you know, but dude, if I'm banking on somebody, bro, that like when shit, you know, hits the fan and things are not going your way, bro, like I'm banking on Beterbiev, period. You know, hands down in that department. So yeah, I think that Beterbiev, the fact that he's gone down, the fact that he's been through cuts and you know, got big gash on his head and blood dripping down his eyes, bro. The dude never blinked, not even once, bro. He never even said anything about the cut. Like he was like he was charged and he was like, yo, I got to knock this dude out because they might stop and do some funny things. I don't know. And that's exactly what he did against Marcus Brown. He came out, bro, and he finished them, demolished them, bro, and ended the fight. He has that ability, man, and that's what's scary about this matchup. Uh, I believe. Anyways, just to answer the question, what was the other part of your question, man, that you had, man?
I don't know if it was so much just that. Well, I guess is this a little similar? I guess to a potential Tank and Shakur fight with Beterbiev being Tank and Shakur being Bivol.
No, 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 no. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that I think that Tank is a little bit more technical than Beterbiev. Beterbiev, he does have some technical abilities. He does. You know, I see some of the things that he does. He likes to attack the weak side a lot. You know, orthodox fighters, a lot of orthodox fighters don't know how to fight going to their right. They really don't. You know, they like going to their left and going clockwise. They hate fighting counterclockwise. And he forces guys to go, you know, counterclockwise. And then what he starts to do is he starts to land his left hook. He'll turn that jab into a left hook, a long left hook, you know, and then he'll force him back to his right, to their right, like meaning going to their left. Then he got the looping right hand to cut that off, and then it brings him back towards his left hand. You know, like he's smart at how the way he breaks these guys down. He also got a straight right hand down to the body as well, man, that he
Yep.
likes to set up when guys are shooting that jab at him, you know, from the wrong distance. He'll shoot a right hand, or he might even time a jab with his right hand down to the body. So, like, he is clever, man. You know, he is very clever. But I just think that Tank is a little bit more got a little bit more flavor, man. You know, he's not as stiff and upright. You know, just got a little bit more flavor, a little bit more loose with it, more finesse, I would say, than that of a Beterbiev. But yeah, Beterbiev is technical. Don't get it twisted. He is technical, but I think his technical ability and Bivol's technical ability, bro. I think Bivol has a better technique. He's better technically, man. I just really do believe that, man, because he has his feet along with his hands, and
Right.
that's the biggest difference. His feet goes well with his hands and his eyes. You know. Now quickness, quickness. So we say timing can beat speed. You know, the one that has the quicker hands, in my opinion, is Bivol. He's going to be able to get off combinations, be able to get a jab off a little bit quicker than Beterbiev. However, timing, man, timing is quickness too. And that's why we say the timing can beat speed, because timing is being able to place your shot, see how your opponent is positioned, and then when they make a move, you already intercepting that movement. Like Beterbiev is a wizard at this, man. He knows how to place his punches, man, and place the shots, the same shot over and over in the same spot. Like he's brilliant at that, man. He really is. But what happens when you have a guy that appears in your vision and then he's out of your vision, bro? Like that's Bivol. You know what I'm saying? Like that's Bivol. So like for instance, like that knockdown. What was that dude he fought? Zanard or whatever
Malik
his name was.
Zanad. Yeah, yeah.
Zanard. When he created that knockdown, bro, it was literally off a jab. You know, Bivol is brilliant. He's a brilliant counterpuncher. It was off a jab. It was a low-handed jab. He shot the jab up with quickness, right? Zanad threw a right hand. He steps back at the same time. As he steps forward with the jab, he steps back, and then he comes right back with a combination, bro. Like right back with a combination to create that knockdown. Dude, that is like top-notch counterpunching, because he's not fading all the way back like Shakur Stevenson, where he takes 2, 3, 4 steps back and just to get the hell out of the way. Like he's getting back just enough to clear that punch, and then he's coming back with his own offense. You know, when you're fighting guys like that, man, that are reactive and that understands distance and range, bro, it's a nightmare. It don't matter what style you bring into the ring. It's a nightmare for that opposite opponent, man.
Is what you're describing with Bivol in and out, is that what I'm hearing called the pendulum step? Or it's
the pendulum footwork, man. It's pendulum footwork, yes. Or pendulum step. A lot of people say, pendulum step, pendulum footwork, pendulum bounce. It depends, like you have, for instance, you have a guy like Dubois who likes the pendulum bounce. He bounces in and out, changes rhythm up. Like a Sean Porter, you'll see Sean Porter, Holyfield back in the days. Okay. I even used the pendulum bounce, bro. And it's kind of to throw off the other fighter's rhythm. You know what I mean? I get in a nice little groove rhythm. You know what I mean? I get a feeling if he about to punch, I step out of range and I come right back into range, So yeah, Bivol, he does do that. But man, I'll tell you another thing that Bivol does very well. One more thing that he does well, man. He kind of draws a line in the fucking canvas, dog. Like, and he dares anybody to cross it, right? Because again, he's great at range. He puts that type of pressure on opposition. Like when he fought against Zerto Ramirez, bro, who was like literally a cruiserweight to a heavyweight, 200-something pounds, bro. He literally drew a line in the fucking canvas, bro, and literally was like, "I dare you to cross it. You cross it, I'm gonna smack you." Right. And then what he does is he will apply his own pressure. Now imagine if he gets Beterbiev on his back foot, bro. Imagine that, bro.
If he did drop Joe Smith on the back foot. But this ain't Joe Smith. But right.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Joe Smith doesn't have the technical ability, or the tactical ability or the mindset, the IQ of a Bivol. Bivol understands how to maintain my distance, be aware of certain shots. Bivol, if you study film, he knows that right hand is lethal, and that Beterbiev will lure you in and set that bomb and springboard that right hand. He does. So, but if you're at the right range and you know that, but you're still able to put that pressure on the opposition by drawing that invisible line, man, right in front of them and saying, "I dare you to cross it." You don't cross it, I'm gonna pull up that line even more on your ass, and I'm gonna bag you up. There's opportunities for Bivol to bag up Beterbiev. There is, especially if he's countering the shit out of him over and over and over. And then Beterbiev will step back and probably, change the landscape a little bit, change his position. He will look for opportunities, to be able to get off on an angle, which he does very well, that weak side attack. But again, you got a wizard in front of you, man, that understands these games, So it's going to be interesting to see, man, who's able to execute their game plan, who's able to naturally adapt inside that ring. Another thing that I noticed from Bivol, I'll just tell you, that motherfucker can be a little spiteful too. He can be spiteful. Yeah. So like when you think you've got him, right? You think you got him, Then all of a sudden, he comes right back. So like any type of low points in the fight, any type of low offensive approaches from Beterbiev, you know he's gonna be looking to jump on him, bro.
He did
He's
that
gonna
to
look to
Canelo.
jump on, bro. He will
And you
jump
can
on
see
you,
the spite in his expression, to your point.
bro.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, yes. So like he understands his way. You know, we talk about, oh, he only does enough to win the fight. Like he knows how to win. He knows how to win rounds. He knows how to win fights. Yes, he does. You know, he might not knock you out. You know, that's his thing. You know, he'll throw some hard shots. He'll land some hard counters early on. And it kind of reminds me of like Roy Jones back in the days where you know, here his corner will say, all right, Roy, it's time to let off the power, baby. Just touch him now. You know what I'm saying? You hit him with your best shots. Then you don't need to put yourself in danger. You know, I forget his trainer's name, but he used to tell Roy that all the time. All right, baby, I'll take some off, steam off the punches now, man. I'll touch him. I just keep touching him. Yeah, just keep touching him. Soften him up. He ain't ready to go yet, Roy. He ain't ready to go. Derek Connor, his style, Bivol's style and his approach kind of reminds me of that. You know, like he'll hit you with his best shot. He hurt you with it, but if he don't get you up out of there, then it's like, all right, I'll just keep touching your behind and I'll keep touching you and I'll just outbox you. That's not a problem. He don't mind going the distance. However, Beterbiev, shit. Beterbiev ain't gonna stop until he get what he wants, bro. He ain't gonna stop. And that's what makes this fight so interesting, man. It's because if Bivol slow down a little bit, dog, and Beterbiev is right there, bro, on his ass, and he gets into the range where he likes to be, bro, it's a wrap. I can see the bro. I can see Bivol literally outboxing him, outclassing him, bro, outclassing him. A similar thing with Tyson Fury and freaking Usyk,
Yeah.
where it looked like you know Tyson Fury the middle parts of the fight, not the beginning. The middle parts of the fight where it was like I was like, damn, this looking easy for
When
Fury. He
he
started
was
setting
stepping
up
outside
traps,
that lead foot, landing that uppercut, it looked
bro.
like he figured him
Oh
out.
yeah,
Looked like he figured him
yeah.
out.
Like
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, it's looking easy. It might be one of these situations, these fights where we looking at this and we're seeing Bivol literally dominating the first half, right? And then a close round and another close round, and then you start to see, you know, Beterbiev coming on, Beterbiev coming on, stronger. And then all of a sudden, boom, one shot, bro. One shot late in the 9th, 10th, 11th. That's all he got to land is one shot to start the process of elimination, bro. Start the process of, you know what, destruction. And once he lands that shot, it's over. There's no coming back for you, bro. It don't matter who you are. It's no coming back for you, man. You know, I'm hoping that Bivol can withstand that shot and have the resiliency to be able to hold on, be the first one to be able to hold on. Balls couldn't hold on. He had the lead. He couldn't hold on. You know, Yard couldn't hold on. Yard started off very, very well in the fight. He couldn't hold on. He ran out of gas. You know, can Bivol be that guy, man, to do it? And we gonna see. We gonna see. You know, ultimately, me, my pick has always been Bivol. I'm not a puncher. History, long list of fights where the boxer was able to outdo the puncher. And then there's been times where the actual punchers, they've been able to deliver knockouts or stop beat boxer, you know, and I think one that rings a bell right now is Ali and Frazier won.
Yep.
You know, that rings a bell. God has come forward, aggressive. You know, he was able to hurt Ali several times, make him pay with that big left hook. Yeah, Frazier's definitely had skill, man. He stayed low. Right. He bobbed and weaved, and he came up swinging. You know, I mean, he took advantage. He took advantage of Ali always leaning back. One, you know, shoot. So look, this is a pick'em fight, man. For the reasons why I'm saying they are. These are both these guys kryptonites. You can even go back and watch the amateur fights at which Beterbiev lost, and you go back and you watch the fights where Bivol lost. Bivol lost to pressure guys. Beterbiev lost to boxers.
Right.
Seriously, bro. Technical.
Although he did drop Usyk. He lost to
Box.
Usyk, but he did get his pound of flesh. He did put him on the canvas with a body shot. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But Usyk, his mentality, uh, his resiliency, his toughness, his mental toughness to bite down, bro. I mean, that's what you need to be able to beat a guy like Beterbiev, man. You got to have that. I'm hoping that Bivol has that, and I think he does. I think he does, man. I really do. He was able to absorb all those big shots coming from Canelo Alvarez on the shoulders, and he still was able to, put his punches together. However, this is a different animal he's going to have in front of him. This ain't no Canelo. This is Canelo times 10, as far as pressure and punching power, man. This guy Beterbiev he's a killer, man. He really is a natural born killer, apex predator, bro. He is top. He's one of the top fighters of this generation, and so is Bivol.
So he's who Dr. Dre and Ice Cube were talking about on Natural Born Killers. Arthur that pertains to Artur
bro,
Beterbiev. That
bro. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And Bivol's a killer in his own right too. He's undefeated, and he deserves respect as well. For his game. Two different games, two different styles, boy, and they mesh very well, man. And this fight can go both ways, man. And this is one of them fights I think we're gonna be talking about. And shoot, I ain't heard nothing about no rematch clause and none of that stuff. Like, bro, like we gotta appreciate dudes like this, man. You know, the young fighters out there gotta understand this is the way you do it. These are two guys that have reigned in a time, I think 6, 7 years, bro, as reign champions, right?
yep.
They've had a couple of setbacks in their career, managerial setbacks or injuries or whatever, right? But they've always fought the best. They've always competed against the best in their division, bro. You look at their resume; they've always fought the best. You got Beterbiev, and everybody's saying, "Well, who's the A side? Who's the A side?" The one that's the A side is the one that's on the top of the top of the chart. Who's on the top of the poster? The marquee. Who's on the top? It's Beterbiev. He holds 3 straps. He took them from champions. I believe he took them from. I think his first one might have been I think his first fight might have been, our championship might have been
I think it might have been a vacant title, the IBF
a
title.
vacant
I
title. Yeah,
believe
I think
so.
it might
But
have
then
been
he took,
yeah,
the BC and the BO off of Joe Smith
yeah,
and Vosdick. So he took
yeah,
those straps off of them. Yep.
yeah. So so there's something to be said about that too. So, but you know, this
Enrico
fight, man.
Coley. Yeah, he won the vacant IBF back in Fresno against Enrico Coley. And that's the only fight he went the 12th round to
Yeah,
this
that
fight.
I was just like, facts. So, but yeah, man, this is the way boxing should be. Like it shouldn't be protecting your O. Both of these men are putting their O on the line, man. And it doesn't matter win, lose, whatever, bro. Like they're giving us the fight that everybody wants to see, man. And we want to see who the best light heavyweight fighter in the world is, and we gonna get that this Saturday, bro. And so I applaud both camps. I applaud my man Turkey Al Sheik. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for putting this on. I'm gonna
Yeah,
thank
yeah.
you.
I
Thank
haven't
you.
always been a big fan, but I do got to give him props alongside you for making, because this fight may well have not have happened without
It
his win.
wouldn't.
Because
It
yeah,
wouldn't never. It
yeah,
wouldn't
I give
never
him
happen.
props for that.
The fight would have never happened without his money. You
Yep.
know what I mean? So absolutely. But uh, but beside that, man, you got anything else for me, player?
Well, yeah, the fight had to happen that way because as great as both of them are, they don't sell enough tickets and pay-per-views in America to make it worthwhile in the pot for both of these guys. So Turkey put the money on the table. So yeah, but to give that context, but I think I only got like 8 minutes left on the Zoom. I got to upgrade to the premium for these interviews. But I'll
Go
ask you
ahead.
about the other light heavy.